So I want to say just be careful where you go. Here in Los Angeles, I don't know if your city is doing it. There are rules before you can go into to grocery stores, and some people will probably have that already going on. But I wanted to show you if you hadn't seen this, but these are just some video clips of people and how they react to having to have to wear a mask before you come in. I know they have like stickers that are on the floor that show you how far apart you must be from another individual, that you shouldn't stand close to one another. You should be 6 feet apart. At first they said three, and then they raised, they lengthened it to raise the number to six. They lengthen it to six. So 6 feet apart, social distancing. You have hand sanitizer stations. Since so many people frequent grocery stores and whatnot, they even offer, paper towels, and you can spray your grocery baskets because people are afraid the grocery baskets may be germy because a lot of people are using the grocery baskets and touching them. Um, so this is how across the country it may show different cities and states, but in LA you must wear a mask. They even have signs saying if you don't have a mask that you won't get service without wearing a mask. That's if you go in a restaurant or a store, even to pick up food, because not all the places are fully open, but they are trying to reopen these places again. And I heard that some places have reopened only but to close again because the numbers of COVID-19 has skyrocketed, or it's climbing. They claim it isn't climbing, but it is more than 2 million now, the numbers that I'm seeing. And so it's pretty alarming, and they're opening things. And I think that's because we're coming into another time, you guys, that I believe is going to be even harder because they're going to be really selective on who goes where and who does what based on whether you have a mask, who could be possibly infected. And I believe laws are going to start being implemented, more laws. And so I mentioned that. I said laws will be implemented based on what you can and cannot do. And I know I read earlier they were saying something about hospitalization by force. People who are infected, you might have to go to the hospital. They might take you to a specific hospitalization situation. So I don't know. I have to get more information on that, but it's gonna get really ugly. And so I just let me go into this so you can see how already some people feel about having to have to wear a mask, having to be 6 feet apart from other people, not being able to do what you used to do before. The world as we know is changing right around us. So I want you to take a look at how this goes here.
Constitutional rights. Across the country, tense moments caught on camera as more businesses enforce new rules to stop the spread of the virus. This customer at a Miami Beach Publix went on an explicit rant after being denied entrance for not wearing a mask. Costco announced last week that all shoppers must wear a face covering that covers their mouth and nose at all times. The policy quickly sparking backlash on social media. Seriously considering canceling my Costco membership, going to Sam's Club instead. What a bunch of tyrants. But Costco supporters also took to Twitter agreeing with the safety protocol, writing, "Thank you, Costco, for protecting members and employees with masks." In Michigan, the face mask rule at a Family Dollar store turned deadly. Police say a security guard was shot after getting into an argument with a customer. 4 family members have been charged in connection with the crime.
This was extremely senseless over a mask.
In Alabama, an off-duty officer was seen body slamming a woman at a Walmart when she allegedly refused to wear a mask. It's also getting violent at places enforcing social distancing. Police arrested a 25-year-old who they say pushed a Texas park ranger who was telling a group to stay 6 feet apart. And Oklahoma City police say a woman opened fire when told she couldn't eat inside this McDonald's, injuring at least 2 workers. Because of growing threats of violence like this, one Oklahoma mayor reversed his city's mask mandate.
We didn't have mass protests. We didn't have, sort of the armed vigilante, but we did have, folks at these stores who were put in a really difficult situation.
States balancing safety while trying to get back to business.
So basically, that's my video of the examples that are going on. I just wanted you to see that so you know that things are getting really ugly because not everybody is all for wearing a mask. Not all people feel comfortable with the new things that are put in place or protocols for these stores and places of business that are now reopening. And then I've heard some places, once again, I may be repeating myself, there have been some states or some cities that are starting to reopen, and they learned that they had to close because now places that we didn't hear that the numbers were very high of people that were contracting COVID-19, the numbers are now starting to show up of people who are becoming infected, newly infected people with COVID-19. And so now what I notice also is that there may be some more laws on the way regarding whether you have the virus. And then I was reading that the vaccine, they're trying to make, different suppliers are making the different types of medicines, of vaccines, and so I will get back with that one. But it looks as though there may be a shortage as well because there's so many people that are infected, and so the numbers are climbing. They claim that the curves are lower and the numbers are lower and there's a decline, but I beg to differ on that. It sounds like it's starting to slowly reverse. The fear is that because of the protests and the current issues that have been at hand, that have been a lot of social issues and civil unrest, have probably led to an increase of people that could possibly be contracting or newly contracting COVID-19. And so that is what is going on. It's happening in Los Angeles. It's happening in other parts of the world where people are standing out and they're speaking out, but in a time where there is a lot of chaos and a lot of issues going on having to do with health and also having to do with people's lives at risk for brutality and law enforcement that may be corrupt. And so that is what we are faced with like every day. And so it's a hard situation. It's like you have so many different things that are creating so much problems that people are trying to tackle all at once, and you just seem to see this stuff opening up with no avail. And so now you have the issues with your own personal, not only your own personal safety, but also your rights as a citizens in your states. Know the laws that are coming your way, because you will be refused in certain places of business because you don't simply have a mask or you don't social distance. And so some people don't want to change what they used to know as what used to be before the pandemic. And so the world is definitely changing. Just earlier today, I noticed I was in the grocery store and I was shopping, and I noticed that they were selling face masks. You know, people were buying face masks from vendors or they were going online. Now you can find face masks and you can find a lot of things that are in the store just normally, and even wrist guards, so that if you don't want to touch certain things and you want to protect your hands, from certain element that might be something you come in contact with. And so it almost seems as like they were preparing us for something that we were unaware was coming. And that's my worry, is that we're not being told the 100% truth of what all this is involved and what entails with all of this. It looks as though that the most vulnerable people are the ones that are suffering in this situation. And also, there are people who feel that their regular rights as just being an American are also at risk for no longer being how they used to be. You can't just walk in a store without a mask. You can't just go where you want and stand with less than 6 feet away from the next customer. And so just normal everyday to day tasks are going to be even more monotonous because of the new changes and the new laws that are coming into effect. And so the question is even with the testing, even with them knowing what's happening, will there be enough medication for all of these people that are newly infected or that have been affected or that will be affected? My guess is as good as yours. And so I don't know, but here in Los Angeles, this is what they give us. And I'm just showing you, they give you where you can go and get tested. They give you updates. And I believe updates might have to do possibly with the numbers of people who may be newly infected. Video briefings, audios, transcripts. It has to do with the mayor. So it is really, really scary because from what I heard is that it is at, I believe the number says that it is at 2 million in total. It might be a worldwide number that I was looking at. But here, novel coronavirus in Los Angeles County, 68,875 cases as of the 11th, and 2,813 deaths. And so I don't know if it gives a new number. It may have a new number. And so this right here is the daily new number, 1,857 and 46 deaths, and in total 68,875 and with 2,813 deaths. And so that's as of the 11th. And so I believe it also has, including cases reported by Long Beach, Pasadena health departments as well. And so this, to me, they could keep saying the numbers are declining, but to me, as they're reopening up, what are they telling us? Are they giving us the truth, or are they allowing us to take the risk because they're more concerned about, rather than people's lives, the economy thriving because we're in a recession, as they say it is? They said we are officially in a recession because of the unemployment problems that we're having due to COVID-19. So I want you to take a look at how this has become so violent just by having to follow these protocols. Let's take a look at it again. And this is going to get worse because some people feel some type of way when they can't just walk into a store, buy their items, and walk out. When they can't just go to a theme park, have fun, and not be bothered about who they're standing next to. And so these are the scenes, even people getting hurt, getting killed, losing their lives. And so we're also all at risk, even just for these issues as well.
Constitutional right. Across the country, tense moments caught on camera as more businesses enforce new rules to stop the spread of the virus. This customer at a Miami Beach Publix went on an explicit rant after being denied entrance for not wearing a mask. Costco announced last week that all shoppers must wear a face covering that covers their mouth and nose at all times. The policy quickly sparking backlash on social media. Seriously considering canceling my Costco membership, going to Sam's Club instead. What a bunch of tyrants. But Costco supporters also took to Twitter agreeing with the safety protocol, writing, "Thank you, Costco, for protecting members and employees with masks." In Michigan, the face mask rule at a Family Dollar store turned deadly. Police say a security guard was shot after getting into an argument with a customer. 4 family members have been charged in connection with the crime.
This was extremely senseless over a mask.
In Alabama, an off-duty officer was seen body slamming a woman at a Walmart when she allegedly refused to wear a mask. It's also getting violent at places enforcing social distancing. Police arrested a 25-year-old who they say pushed a Texas park ranger who was telling a group to stay 6 feet apart. And Oklahoma City police say a woman opened fire when told she couldn't eat inside this McDonald's, injuring at least 2 workers. Because of growing threats of violence like this, one Oklahoma mayor reversed his city's mask mandate.
We didn't have mass protests. We didn't have, sort of the armed vigilante, but we did have, folks at these stores who were put in a really difficult situation.
States balancing safety while trying to get back to business.
So there you have it. What are your comments and your feedback? How do you feel about this? These changes are coming in full force. They are changing life as we know it, and it is not going to be the same how we used to do. It is our new normal. Thanks for listening.